Welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Lasell, the M.B.A. This is my inaugural video. Thank you for joining me. And we wanted to start off today with something very basic. It's about changing your life, all right? Some people may look at this and say, yo, why I need to change my life for? My life is good. I'm good. Well, it could be a number of reasons. Maybe you're not getting the business opportunities you thought you were going to get. Some of the things that you think you are really here, but the business opportunities you are right around here, that could be a sign that you need to change your life. It could be the personal opportunities. It could be, at work you're getting passed over for promotions. You're not being offered opportunities to advance. That could be a definite sign that you need to change your life. And definitely one of the biggest things you want to look at is interpersonal relationships, whether it be with family, friends, or significant others. If those relationships always seem to go the same route, it's always conflict, there's always something that someone is not understanding, those could be definite signs that you need to change certain things about yourself. Now, whenever you look at changing is not a very hard thing. The hard thing for most people is identifying that a change needs to be made. And that is something that you really need to look at. But the most change will be identified with two sides. It will be the internal side and there will be the external side of your changes. So we're going to cover a few of these topics in a very brief amount of time, and maybe I'm going to throw some things out there, and I hope that they resonate with you. I hope that these things, if you can implement them, will affect the change that you're looking for in your life. Now, the first thing I wanted to basically get into, when you look at people being successful in whatever endeavor, but it kind of bleeds over into everything else, is that you have to stop expecting the world to adjust to you. What does that mean? That means that if you're constantly the person who's like, I just basically, I know I have to go to work in the morning, but I'm a party with these dudes, I'm a party with these chicks, I'm gonna go over here and watch this movie or watch TV till 3 in the morning, knowing that you gotta be at work at 8 o'clock, and you have a problem getting out of bed and you're constantly late. At some level, you're expecting the world to adjust to you. When you go into work and you actually are telling your boss or telling your supervisors, well, I have a problem with being late. Oh, I couldn't get out of bed. I was with these chicks. You know what I mean? And expecting them to understand, you're basically expecting the world to adjust to you. And that could be a definite sign that you, well, one, may not be employed very, very often, very much longer. But at the end of the day, that's a definite sign that something that you want to change, because that bleeds over into everything. These things are traits of who you are. So the thing of it is that you want to stop making the world to adjust to you. That's the first thing. Second thing is accept that people may not think the way, accept that the way you think may not be the only way to see things. Okay. Now, what does that mean? We all come into a situation and we have a frame of thought that is our way of thinking. And it may be our way of thinking, and we may stand by it whole, that it is right. We understand why we think this way. The thing of it is that when you allow no room for any other perspective to come in, that may be definitely something that has to change. Because at the end of the day, there's always room for another perspective. You're not allowing somebody to feel the same way. It's nothing wrong with being solid in your beliefs and your philosophies, but when you are not allowing somebody to come in and share theirs and give you a different perspective, you're not open to embracing or even respecting what somebody else feels or thinks. So that could be something that also could change your life. If you can start accepting that the way you think is not the only way to see things, that could definitely help in what you're doing. Inspect your circle. Now, this is the thing. Your circle tells a lot about you. If you show me the 5 people that you deal with every day, I can tell a lot about you. I can tell about the way you think. I can tell about how you're going to handle certain things. I can tell about how you're going to deal with other people. Make sure that regardless of whatever you envision yourself to be, whatever your vision is for your world and for your life going forward, make sure that the people that are closest to you, if at all possible, either support that in They may not understand what you're doing, but they support what you're doing in the sense of they're not going to disturb your peace. They're not the type of people, like, for instance, if you were going back to school, you had people in your circle that would be like, forget school, let's go get high, let's go chase some girls, or let's go chase some boys if you're a lady, let's go smoke, let's go drink, when they know that you're trying to get these things done. That's not people in your circle that's going to support what you're going to be trying to do, and they're not going to support you changing your life. Or in the situation of just mentors, people around you that can actually open those doors. If you're trying to be a millionaire, you can't be, you're not going to be successful with people who don't have the same ambition or drive that you do. So that circle is going to tell a lot about you. And that circle will get you through some of the roughest periods and some of the biggest transitions that you're ever going to make and propel you into success if that's what you're trying to do. Um, Now, this is a very weird one, right? Because this also affects you, but it also affects things around you. It speaks to branding. Branding is what people associate you with. When people say your name, what is the first thing that comes up to mind? And to be quite honest with you, 90% of people out there, if somebody said their name, the way they think that people perceive them would be totally different than actually what would come out of people's mouths. So that said, start caring about what people think. Now I know that's counterintuitive for some people. They don't care about what people think. For you to be successful, you got to do you and you got to care about yourself. That's a problem because, see, to some degree that is true. When people are being detrimental to you, then you can't care about what they think. If you have somebody that's abusive or is not respecting what you're trying to do, then you really don't care what they think. But there's a lot of people who are fringe people, and there are people who are in your corner that are giving you constructive criticism or actually willing to support you, or just people that you meet that at the end of the day you can ruin that relationship just by being rude, just by not caring, because this is my situation, this is my social media, I post what I want, this is how I dress, so they have to deal with it. Actually, no, they don't. Now, technically, in a perfect world, it's supposed to be that what you do is separated from who you are. Not true. At the end of the day, we understand this is a world of racial profiling. This is a world of misogynists who look at women a certain way, don't care what they bring to the table. Are they cute? There's women who look at men and don't care nothing about what they bring to the table. Oh, he's a man. He's not part. He's an oppressor. He's this. There's people who look at things in a racial, in a racial demographic and sit back and make those snap assumptions. So understanding that you can overcome a lot of that just by being courteous. There's a lot of people out here who are just mean. There's a lot of people out here who just love to just raise feathers and ruffle feathers, and it kind of doesn't serve them sometimes. And if they ever look at why they never attain the next level of whatever they're trying to do, and they're getting passed over, or they're constantly at odds with family, friends, and significant others, it's usually because you're an asshole. Because you feel you can do what you want to do and say what you want to do, and nobody wants to be around you. The next thing we want to talk about is start thinking about why you do things and why they make you happy. There's an old saying that, again, that if you look at someone and what they do in their free time, that is who that person is. There's nothing wrong with anything you do. Just understand why you do it. Because sometimes that bleeds over. That's your personality. It bleeds over into certain things. If you chase certain things, or if those things are the priorities and is not conducive to what you're doing, it's not to say that you can't do it. Just understand that you put that in a box and identify that this is a time to do this is appropriate to do this, and this is not a time and an appropriate place to do this. Case in point, for some people who might be a little bit lost, there's people out there that smoke weed all day. Okay, that's fine. What you do in your personal time, that's entirely up to you. You want to drink all day, that's entirely up to you. When you come to work, leave it at home. Leave it at home. There's no purpose in you going out for a break and then coming back in and you smell like weed. It has negative connotations that make people think that you're not professional. At that point, people make judgments. It is what it is. All right. So now this is one of the basic things that I really like to get into, and it's being consistent with your word. In the corporate world, what goes a long way is what you say is what you do. what go in the family, in a private sector, dealing with family, friends, significant others. If they can count on you to say your word or give your word about something and follow through with it, that goes a long way. A lot of people are not consistent in their word. Their word is temperamental. Their word is right now. Oh well, we lovey-dovey right now, so I'm gonna get that for you, boo. Or yeah, we in a good space right now. Me and my friends, we in a good space right now, so I'm gonna get that for you. I'm gonna take care of that for you. But as soon as things get kind of shaky, people tend to, like, you know what, F that person. Or, nah, I ain't with that person no more, so I ain't gonna, what do I look like doing this, that, and keep your word. Because you would expect the people to keep their word with you. Even if you really don't, the thing of it is that by keeping your word, it will change your life, because certain people will vibrate towards you. It may not be that person that you dealt with, because everybody doesn't have ethics. But at the end of the day, there's people who are always watching. Every closed eye is not sleep. People watch, people hear. And to have that reputation precede you is a big thing for how you're perceived. Learn from failure and learn to redirect. This is the thing. No matter what you do in this life, there's a good chance that you're going to fail. And it doesn't mean that I'm wishing failure on anybody. What it is this. If you're going to do anything worth doing, that means that a lot of people may not be doing it. And the reason why they're not doing it is because it's difficult. If that has to be the case, the less you know about it early on, the first time you try, you may fall flat on your face. That's not a problem, because see, at the end of the day, failure is what a lesson is. But you have to accept that lesson and keep going. You may fail 4 or 5 more times. The point is, you have to keep getting up. Every time you fail, you learn a lesson, and then you continue on, and then success will come. You have to redirect that energy. Anytime you fail, it's not a good feeling. But as you get further along with it, you learn to really look forward to failure, because failure will tell you far more than success ever will. Failure will tell you how people think about you. Failure will tell you who your supporters are and who your detractors are. Failure will tell you everything you need to know about why this whole thing is so difficult to begin with. And then you can be an expert in your field, which would make people seek you out even more. Next thing is, don't let setbacks derail you. Don't let setbacks derail you. There's going to be times that you're going to go through things. You're going to have emergencies. You're going to have family emergencies. You're going to have situations where you're financially in a bind. You're going to have all of these different things that happen. There's nothing wrong with having a setback. You may even have a situation where you're heartbroken. You're dealing with whatever you're dealing with. You need a little time for yourself. You went through a failure in your process, and you didn't actually succeed, and it really deflated you. Fine, take your time. There's nothing wrong with taking that time and recouping and regrouping. But don't let it derail you. Don't let that ever be the end of you. Because it's a big difference between being that dude who succeeded and people forgot how many times you failed, or being that fool that tried to make this happen and he just fell flat on his face and didn't get back up. Get it together. Pull it together. That should be self-explanatory, but just for the sake of argument, I'm going to explain it to you. Get it together. There's a lot of things you need to do. All right? You got to be functional. You got to be functional. If you say that you want to be in business, then damn it, get some business cards. Damn it, get your briefcase. Get some business attire for the field that you're going into. Get functional. If you say that you want to be in a relationship, damn it, be consistent. Be a dude who's loving. Be a chick who's actually, functional. Be a man who's a man. Don't be like the rest of these dudes out here. Don't be like the rest of these chicks out here. You say you want to have a family. You want to be a good father. Be a good mother. Damn it, start putting your kids first. Be functional. Don't just be that person who, in title, is a mom, is a boyfriend, is a girlfriend, is a husband. Be functional. And I can guarantee you, if you do your job, then you can hold other people accountable to doing their job. Attitude reflects leadership. If you always late, you can't ever expect for your employees to be on time. And vice versa. I love this one. Learn to apologize, people. Learn to apologize. There's a lot of people in this world that it kills them to say I'm sorry. And because of that, small things that would be just washed over. It would be a blurb in a conversation, become huge things that derail friendship, business relationships, and love relationships, because they can't say, I'm sorry. I'm not saying I'm sorry to that chick, or she ain't nobody, or he ain't nobody. I'm not going to never say I'm sorry. Learn to apologize. It takes a lot. People will respect you. Every relationship, business, significant other, family relationship is made of moments. And in that moment, if a person can look at you and say, hey, he apologized and he knew he was wrong, he came up, he fessed up to it, you'd be surprised how far that could go, as how they see you. If you learn to apologize for any mistake you make, believe it or not, some people will respect you. Not everybody, but some will. Identify what you keep running into and identify what parts you have to do with it. There's a lot of things you constantly are running into. You're constantly running into, oh, I didn't get that promotion. You're constantly running into, yo, that's the fourth dude this month. Or he don't want to see me again. These dudes ain't about nothing. These dudes is, men ain't whatever. Women ain't whatever. My family, they be tripping. That could be true. Well, what part do you have to play in that? What did you say to these people that caused them to constantly go over? Is it because you can't communicate? Is it because you don't give a F? Is it because you have a tendency to pick the wrong people? At some point, there's some part you're playing in this whole thing. When you identify what part it is, and that's the lesson, then you can start making those changes. Be introspective. Learn that what part you play in everything that goes wrong. Be realistic about the best version of yourself. You know what you can and can't do. That's like me saying, you know what, I want to be Michael Jordan, but I'm going to be better than Michael Jordan. I'm going to take off from half court and dunk the ball. That's not realistic. Realistic is, I'm going to develop my jump shot. I'm going to be the best I can. And in those pressure situations, this is what I'm going to train for. It's the same thing when dealing with life and people. What is it that certain things are going to be? Realistically, the best version of myself is, maybe I'm not a great numbers guy. So when I go in it, I may need a numbers guy. Maybe my thing is being the mouth. Maybe my thing is telling people or painting the vision. Maybe my thing is the marketing aspect of it. These are the things that you have to be realistic of it and focus on that. You can expand out later, but remember, time compression. Who's the best person for it? Be realistic about it. Maybe the best thing you can do is delegate who needs to do what. With that said, I'm going to kind of end up those things right here, but one of the things I really want to go into is that I know when people watch these kind of videos, they sit back and they say, well, that's cool, but how do I identify these things in myself? And how do I identify these things in other people? How do I know who's not supposed to be in my circle, and so forth and so on? That's a very good question, because that's the hard part about everything. You can read a book all day long. It won't tell you how to apply it in everyday situations, because no book, no video will ever cover every situation that you're going to run into. But this is what I can tell you. If you work on being the best you and changing yourself, a lot of things automatically will start falling away from you. If you ain't always out trying to get high, friends who always are trying to get high ain't gonna come around as much. If you're not as reckless with your mouth, maybe the people that have been in your life will stay. If you're not mean and you're not reckless and you're not late, maybe the people who do consider for the next position will start talking about you more. Learn to under-promise and over-deliver, people. Well, this video went a lot longer than I anticipated, but listen, take this up. I'm going to try and upload videos every day with different topics. It's not going to be all about self-help. It's going to be different functional things. I intend to just make this a channel about life. So whatever it is that we want to discuss, please leave some comments in the comment section. Like and subscribe to this video if you find something of some value to you. And I look to see you guys soon. LaSalle, the M.B.A. I'll holler at you soon.